There is no such thing as a 9 to 5. If you're a business owner, you're working all the time. You don't have a clock in, clock out.
Who's one online influencer or entrepreneur that you think people should not be listening to? We're going to get a bit controversial here. I want to ask you, what's one thing people get completely wrong about starting a business?
They try jump in without trying to learn first. You need to build yourself a plan. You need to strategize before you go into business. You need to make sure you're strategizing and you know what you're doing. A lot of people start businesses simply because of FOMO. They see it on social media. They see that people want to make money. They see people living a lavish lifestyle, that they're traveling the world, spending money, going to this place, that place, meeting up with these different types of people. But they don't actually understand that business is a strategy. It's the same with every single skill. If you want to learn anything, if you want to get into anything, any job, you need to have certain traits, skills and attributes in order to have that job. And it's the exact same with business. People need to make sure that they have a plan, a structure that they're ready to follow, and then go in once they feel like they're ready.
Do you think most entrepreneurs lie about how hard that they are working?
Most definitely. I think especially on social media it's quite bad because people don't speak about how difficult it truly is to be an entrepreneur. They don't speak about the trials, the tribulations, the sacrifices that you truly have to make to be an entrepreneur. And that's what being an entrepreneur is about. I don't regret anything that I've done that has helped me throughout my entrepreneurial journey because I know that it's taken me where I am now and it's going to take me where I need to go. And that's why it's important for me and yourself to actually tell the truths that a lot of entrepreneurs on social media don't speak about. They show the lavish lifestyle, they show the women, the cars, the traveling, but they don't show how difficult it really is to be an entrepreneur. And I think that's something that it's people like us that we need to fix.
I know both of us have experienced moments like this, but what's one moment that you felt like giving up, but you didn't?
When I first left secondary school, I had a lot of doubts in myself, and it was something that I've never actually thought about. Seeing people go through school, getting results, studying really hard, talking about the jobs that they want to get. It was never for me, but because I heard it so often around when I was still in secondary school, it had me doubting myself. Is this really what I want? Is this the true journey that I'm going to take? Are these sacrifices that I've been making really worth it? How long can I keep this up? Will I keep this up? Things like this. And I had a lot of self-doubt in myself, but I think that's something that every entrepreneur does go through, is the self-doubt. And I'm so glad that that happened to me, especially in an early stage of my entrepreneurial career, because that's what has set me up to have the self-confidence that I have now in order to continue on in business.
100%. A lot of entrepreneurs or people looking to start businesses, they feel like they burn out and they get tired very easily. How would you yourself handle that feeling of being burnt out?
It's a tough one because a lot of people have different strategies.
Yeah.
And they talk about having burnout, not having burnout, how to manage burnout, but it's totally different between every single entrepreneur. Everybody is different. A lot of entrepreneurs that I speak to, most of them actually don't discover and don't experience burnout because they have a different mentality. It's kind of the same philosophy as you can only truly be scared or believe in something if you allow it to exist. I've heard a quote before saying that if you're in a haunted house and you don't believe in ghosts, if you hear a knock, you're just going to assume that it's wind and not ghosts. I believe that if you truly work and you are driven and you don't allow burnout to affect you, it won't affect you. If you want to go extremely far in business, you just have to fight through it. You just have to think about, do I want to make it as far as I want to be? Do I want to be extraordinary? And if you want to be extraordinary, you have to do extraordinary things. So if you want to be better than the average entrepreneur, burnout should not be a thing for you. And you should just keep fighting through it and just accept it for what it is and accept it that it's just a normal thing that every entrepreneur has to go through.
We're going to get a bit controversial here. What is something that you think is trending online or within the entrepreneurial space that you think is totally bullshit?
The whole philosophy that business is extremely easy and it's only a good thing, that anybody can start a business, and I don't think that that's true. I think that requires a certain mindset. I think it requires certain attributes that somebody has to have. I don't think business is for everybody, and I think that's a big lie that a lot of people try to give out. Not everybody is suited for business, and I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. I think that's totally fine. And if everybody was entrepreneurial, then the economy would really struggle, you know. So one thing that I do think that is quite disingenuous, that is a lie, is the fact that people are saying and telling people that everybody can start a business when they can't. And all that's doing is causing those people harm that aren't suited for business, because they're going to waste their time, they're going to waste their energy, and it could also affect their relationships because they're trying so hard for something that they've been lied to and told that they can do, that they can't.
Yeah. What I've noticed is nowadays 9 to 5s nearly get bashed totally online. What's your opinion on someone working a 9 to 5, and do you think people should be working 9 to 5s?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the 9 to 5 system. I believe that entrepreneurship and business isn't for everybody, and that we need those people to work the 9 to 5s. Those are people who are working extremely hard, and that we need those people. Earth wouldn't run effectively, it wouldn't run at all without those people who dedicate their lives, who work 9 to 5. And the only thing that I wish that people do who do work those type of jobs is that they spend that time doing something that they enjoy doing. And that's something that upsets me. I don't look at somebody who's working 9 to 5 and look down on them in any way, shape or form. I don't think it's bad in any way, shape or form. The only thing that I would find upsetting is them working, spending so much time and energy and dedicating themselves to something that they don't enjoy doing. That's something I don't like, and I don't like seeing that, and that really gets to me. But the 9 to 5 system I don't have a problem with, because the non-9 to 5 isn't for everybody, and especially with the likes of business, there is no such thing as a 9 to 5. If you're a business owner, you're working all the time. You don't have a clock in, clock out. If you don't work, your business doesn't work, unless you come to a certain stage, which also, if you come to that certain stage, you are going to have to hire people who will work a 9 to 5 for your company that you've been working on. So no, I don't think there's anything wrong with working 9 to 5 at all.
So, me and you, we're both around the age of the average person in college. Do you think college is still valuable to someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, or do you think they shouldn't go whatsoever?
It totally depends. It's funny because I've spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful entrepreneurs. I've spoken to multimillionaires. Some of them have gone to college to study business and some of them haven't. And it was funny, I was only speaking to a very successful Irish entrepreneur recently, and I asked him if he went to college, and he said yes. I said, what did you study? He said business. I said, be honest with me, do you think that was truly effective for you and to help you progress throughout your entrepreneurial career? And he said, to be honest, I don't know. And it's funny because I think it can be important for some people and it's not important for other people. It depends on you and the person. Some people need their hand held. Some people require the educational system to guide them through to get to where they need to go to, and some people don't need to. Some people learn through experience and some people learn through the academic system. And I think it totally depends on the person, what they require, and their mindset.
So, within the past 5 to 10 years, we've made huge jumps with AI. What's your opinion on AI, and do you really think it's going to replace online business owners?
I love AI, but absolutely yes, it's going to replace so many businesses online especially. It's going to replace a lot of people's jobs, and people will struggle, but only if they allow it and only if they don't adapt. Charles Darwin says in the theory of evolution that it's not the strongest animal who survives, it's the one who's the most adaptable. These people and these businesses that don't use AI need to find ways that they can integrate AI into their systems to adapt. Like myself and our business, we use AI. We know that AI is the way. It's the most intellectual entity in the world. And the people who don't use it, it's truly asinine, and that people should be using it. So I think that if people adapt to using AI, then they should be fine. But the ones who don't and decide to sit there, they will struggle and they will not survive.
100%, you have to adapt or you're going to get left behind.
Absolutely, and that's why I love AI.
This is a very jumpy question, but who's one online influencer or entrepreneur that you think people should not be listening to?
I don't like that question because it evokes negative frequencies. And that's something I don't like. I don't like calling people out necessarily. I won't answer it directly, but what I will say is I think everybody should do thorough research on the people that they are listening to.
Yeah.
And don't get so tied to the person. Just extract the knowledge that they're trying to convey and use it if it helps you increase your life frequency, improve your life, improve your relationships, and and how you come across life. That's the main thing. So many people get so tied to the face. They get so tied to the name. They don't even think about what they're saying or what's going into their mind. The main thing that they should be doing is focusing on extracting the value and moving on from that to help them improve their lives.
100%. I think we see a problem nowadays where people are emotionally attached to people. So you think people should be instead just extracting the knowledge from them and not be emotionally attached to these people who are online?
Exactly. It's someone I can relate it to is the guy who has the Bugatti. It's like so many people get so attached to the name and the face when that's not the way, and that's not what they should be doing. They should be extracting the good value and neglecting the bad value, the negative frequencies that they're emitting. They should be avoiding all of those names that are coming out, and they should just be predominantly focusing on the value that they are trying to spread, because nobody's perfect. There's things that I say, there's things that you say that are incorrect, that people shouldn't be listening to. But there are also a lot of things that people should be listening to. And that's the importance of not focusing on the person, but focusing on the good value, extracting it and leaving the rest.
So with us being extremely close like brothers and working every single day, what would you look for in a friend, and how would you be able to spot someone who's fake in your life?
It's tricky because there's a lot of human psychology that comes into it. You kind of need to look at somebody and see what they're not showing you. And that sounds crazy, but that's exactly what you need to do. You need to pick up on certain patterns that people are coming across. Do you think that they're using you? Do you think they only message you at a certain time? Why are they talking to you? What are their intentions with you? Are they there for improvement? Are they there so you can help them, or are they there so you can build a mutual relationship out of reciprocity to help each other and to help each other improve? Those are things that you need to find, and those are things that everybody needs in their life. I think everybody needs a brother like me and you. Everybody. It's such an important thing in this world, and it's something that a lot of people don't have, and it's quite upsetting because it's something so great. Our relationships is one of the greatest things that I have in my entire life. And that's something that has improved my life to places that I could have never even fathomed of getting to. The fact that we're here in this villa, relaxing, working together, making videos, podcasts, improving ourselves, working whilst we're having fun, enjoying our lives. These are the best memories that I could possibly have imagined for my future self. So I think everybody should have a brother like that.
So you've been in a long-term relationship. How do you think your relationship has affected your business?
It hasn't affected my business at all. When I got with my partner, we're together over 3.5 years, and I set the boundaries straight. I told her that if I need to sacrifice my goals for her, then I will not be with her. And my goals are the number one thing. My future is the number one thing. The business is the number one thing. That doesn't mean that I love her less at all. It does not mean that at all. It just means that if I can't love my business more than I love her, then I won't love her at all, because that's me giving up on myself. And how can I be a good partner if I'm giving up on myself? I'll give up on her then, you know?
Yeah, and especially as you being in a relationship, what's your opinion on a man having a role and a female having a role, and sometimes women or men trying to get in each other's ways of what they want to do in life?
You need to make sure that you're so selective with your partner. That's the number one thing. So many people have low standards. You have to have high standards. And if you're a masculine man, you need a feminine woman. And if you're a feminine woman, you need a masculine man. Both roles are extremely important. I believe that a man should be everlasting, improving themselves every single day. I see so many men who get into relationships and they just become lazy. You should want to improve for your woman. That's the main thing. And it's like, once I got with my partner, I never have become so serious about my business. I've never locked in so much, because it's not only for me anymore, it's for her as well. So I think every masculine man requires a feminine woman, and I believe every woman needs to be feminine, and I believe every man needs to be masculine.
And do you believe most men get comfortable in relationships because they know subconsciously that they have a woman there, they have that access to sex, they just have that woman that they can text and the likes of that?
Absolutely, and I see it every single day. I've seen it firsthand with so many people that I care about. I've had gym partners who have been so locked in about improving themselves, their physique, their health, their skin, their finances, after they break up with their partner and they find a new partner and they get lazy. I've seen it firsthand so many times, and it's the wrong mindset to have. You should want to improve for your woman. You should want to be the best man you possibly can be for your woman. And that's something that a lot of men don't understand nowadays. They try to improve themselves before they get their woman instead of improving themselves for their woman.
So, throughout your life, if you had to start again, what's one lesson in life you wish you would have learned at an earlier age?
How nobody is going to save you, and how if you do not work, then nothing in your life will work, and that there's no such thing as handouts. Especially as a man, you need to build yourself up. A woman is born with her value. Men have to build their value. They need to learn skills. They need to gain attributes and gain status in order to get anything that they want in life. No woman wants a man who is incompetent, that cannot do anything, that is not handy, that's not strong, that can't take care of them financially, physically. They need to make sure that they feel safe. And that's one thing that I wish I understood at an earlier age, and that I wish that men, especially young men, learn from an early stage in their life, because it's something that is so important that, in my opinion, every man needs to know, because it is so important in life to make sure that you are competent, that you can take care of your loved ones, because not only do you make your loved one feel better or more secure, you feel better as a man, because men like to have purpose and like to feel important.
So, with everything we've built and everything you've built, if all of that was to disappear and you had to restart again tomorrow, what exactly would you do?
Try to acquire a skill set as early as possible. You need to learn a skill. Everything in life requires skills. Everything. Look around you. Look at the phone that you have in your hands to read out the questions, the microphone you have on you, the phone that the person that is viewing this video is using. Somebody learned a skill, provided value, and sold it. And that's exactly all business is. It's getting people from point A to point B. Without this microphone, people wouldn't hear us as well. So what was the solution? Somebody built a mechanism to help people hear better, to enhance the audio. You need to learn skill sets. You need to provide value to the marketplace. That's the first thing I would do, and it's the most important thing. Learning a skill, mastering the skill, and providing value. And the more value you can provide, and the more skill sets that you can help people with, the more money you'll make.
With us being workaholics, how would you balance building an empire and enjoying life at the exact same time?
It's difficult, because sometimes you have to put yourself last to put your empire first. And when you're trying to grow an empire so big, you need to sacrifice yourself, your personal life, what you enjoy as well. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to build a good empire, you need to have a good mentor, and you need to make sure that you are continuously learning, you're evolving, because without a good mentor, how your mentee is meant to improve. And it's difficult to manage a personal life at the same time, but there's not a lot of balance towards it. It's just life, it's just the way it is. It's the industry and the path we've chosen and we've decided to go through, and we just have to embrace that there is no true balance, that sometimes you have to put yourself first and sometimes you have to put the empire first. It's just the way it goes.
So, as we know, we have our own VIP community. Now, if one person was to join that VIP community with all the knowledge that they have access to in that channel, what would you suggest that they do?
If they're serious about growing an online business, then they need to go into the online business section. Pick one of the many online businesses in there. Every single one of them work. Find one that suits them, because not every business model suits everybody. Pick one that suits you, your skill sets, your personal habits, the time that you have, and once you have that one that you like within the channel, knuckle down on it. Really study it within the channel. Speak to other people within the community. Find people who are in the same industry. Potentially find an accountability partner and move on from there. Just make it work.
So as you help online coaches grow, what's one mistake you see that they all make while growing on social media?
They try to stick with trends instead of providing value. People don't buy from who they like, they buy from who they trust. And if you can convey that you have the value and that you have the knowledge to help them improve their physiques or their dating lives, if you're a dating coach, then you will get clients. So many people are just so strung up and trying to go viral instead of helping people, providing value and making money that way. It's so much easier to provide value to people's lives and make money that way. If you're somebody who just focuses on entertainment content, you're going to find unserious people who aren't serious about your service that you provide. So the main thing that I would say to help them grow and scale their business would be to provide and to focus on providing as much value as possible instead of trying to be funny and just providing entertainment content.
When it comes to online coaches, let's say someone wants to get into online coaching and they want to start fresh on a clean sheet of paper. How would you suggest, or what strategy would you suggest they take with growing on social media?
They need to be brutally consistent with their content. They need to be posting, I'd say, at least 3 times a day. 3 to 5 times a day, the more the better. There's businesses in India who post over 100 times a day and they get like 10 billion views every month. You need to be consistent. The more content that you post, the more people who are aware of you, your brand and your coaching business. And that's what you need. Without your content, you have no money, you have no clients. So they need to be more consistent with their content. If they provide the value, if they have the skill sets, and they make posts teaching people and helping them out, they'll make so much money and they'll scale their business and their coaching program so quickly, they won't even know what to do with the clients.
So you help online coaches grow, and we both know the importance of catching attention. What would you suggest the best ways are for an online coach to actually catch attention nowadays, especially with people's mindsets?
Follow the trends, but provide value. And that's how you're really going to scale your business as well. If you want to catch as much attention, you need to be different. Try out different things. A lot of people try mimic and they just copy other creators' content. They need to be making their own authentic content. But you could also copy, but have your own little spin on it. Yeah. Find out what works and then change it. Look at the likes of Ashton Hall. He's an online coach. What does he do? He created his own type of content. Other people tried to copy it and it didn't really work as well. If you were to do what he done but have your own little spin on it, you could just go completely viral and it completely scale your business so much easier. The main thing you just need to do is provide value, stick with the trends, but be your own person. Have your own personal brand. You're your own coach, you have your own clients, and stick with that. Be confident, be yourself.